Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, this is J-Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff
Doing bad time. Doing bad time. Got myself a problem.
Live from San Diego, it's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me. You got it.
Holy
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann.
Hey, welcome to Sports World Radio! Boys and girls, that's right, Sports World Radio is on the air. Glad everybody could be here with us. We got so much to talk about, so much to get to, it's ridiculous. A lot of things going on in the sports world. Before we do that, I'm Jeff Escow. I'm the host. Let's get all the particulars out of the way. You're listening to Sports World Radio on SportsWorldRadio.com. If you want to hang out in our chat room, head on over to Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com. Get yourself a free account if you don't have one. Then type in Sports World Radio, all one word, and you'll find us and come on into the chat room. Like us over there on Facebook at Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Follow us on Twitter at Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. If you want to give us a call at 619-663-3715. 619-663-3715 is the number to give us a call. Now, with one more particular to get out of the way. A little over a week to go before the NFL season starts. If you have not joined our Sports World Radio NFL Football Pick'em group, then you need to do so. All you got to do is pick the winners of each game every week. Our returning champion is back. Ebo is playing, so let's see if we can beat her. That's right, a female won last year, boys and girls. So let's see if we can beat her. So join our Fantasy Football Pick'em group, where you pick each game each week. Send your emails to swrshow@gmail.com. That's swrshow@gmail.com. In the subject, please put Pick'em. In the body, just put your name and email, and I will send you the invitation to join our Pick'em League. Okay, now with all the particulars out of the way, what do you say? Hey, we bring in the crazy dude who's just back from vacation, Sean Mann, the update man. What's going on, buddy?
I'm doing good, Jeff. Welcome, everybody, to Sports World Radio on this Tuesday, August 26, 2014, 6:07 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 3:07 p.m. on the West. Weather right now, 82 degrees. Not bad at all. Doing good. Just a little drained from that family vacation, but all in all, doing good.
How was the wedding?
The wedding was good.
You have a lot of fun?
Oh, yeah. Had a lot of fun with my dad's side of the family
Cool.
and mom's side of the family.
Nice. You know, we were busting your chops a little bit about that photo you put on Facebook.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, the one with you in the tie and the shirt. Nice tie, nice shirt. I liked everything. You looked really handsome.
Well, thank you very much.
Except you had your 16 million chins with you.
Uh-oh.
I like that, Sean. I love that. Uh-oh. I love that, Sean. That's great, buddy.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, we got to get you to look up, man. Take all your selfies looking up. Don't be looking down like that. Look up. If you look up, you get the smile. Everybody gets to see your whole dress and outfit. Look up, my friend. You get rid of those chins. How's the weather out there? Warm?
Warm out here.
Yeah, well, it should be starting to turn pretty soon. We're getting into freaking September, aren't we?
Yes, we are. 82 right now.
Wow, yeah, it's kind of warm. You heard I had the air conditioner on before we went live, so you know it's warm down here. You know that. It's always warm in San Diego, for Jiminy Cricket sakes. It's freaking August. You know?
Mm-hmm.
How's everything else going? Good?
All in all, doing good.
All right. So what do you say we get right into the first topic of the day? What do you got for me, pal?
The NFL Players Association hopeful that Sean Gilbert proposes a $1 million minimum wage salary, 18 games, and other changes. Sean Gilbert and Morris Smith need to go at it. Battle royal style in a debate. After all, these are the two men who could go head-to-head for the NFLPA executive director spot soon, even if the sitting executive director Smith has no plans of leaving his post.
NFL PA, NFL director?
Yeah.
Well, who makes the schedule for the NFL? The NFL director?
I think it's the NFL director, the NFL PA.
Well, he's a
Now,
schmuck.
there are some major proposals that could happen. Terminating the current CBA, that's number one on his list. This is what they would be doing. Nothing like starting big. A $1 million minimum wage salary. Hello, this is a radical change. The current system works against veteran players and their elevated minimum salaries. And of course, another big decision they would make for the NFL, eliminating 2 preseason games and making it 18 games total.
Making it 18 games? Boy, yeah, they're really concerned about the welfare of all the NFL players, aren't they?
Yeah, they're concerned about the
I don't think they are. I don't think they are. They're making it 18 more games. Players are getting hurt left and right. Yeah, they're really concerned about the injuries of the NFL players. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I don't believe that one bit. I believe they're all doing it for. If they were concerned about the head the concussions and the injuries and everything that they claim, they wouldn't be adding on 2 more games, and they would take all the Thursday games away. Give the players a week to recover, not 2 days. They're not concerned one bit. The only thing they're concerned with is the bottom line, the almighty dollar. That's it. Don't give me none of this crap that they're concerned with the injuries and the players and this and that. If they were really concerned with the players, they would get rid of all the Thursday night games. Because if you play on a Sunday, okay, and then you got to play next week's game and you're playing on Thursday, you play Sunday, you're off Monday, you meet Tuesday, you fly Wednesday, you play Thursday. Yeah. Oh, that's big. That's enough time for your body to recuperate. Way to go, NFL. Bunch of morons. If you were really concerned with the injuries and the welfare of the players, you wouldn't be doing this and you wouldn't add on 2 more games. I don't believe it for 1 second.
Yeah, I just think that it's just a bad decision to add 2 more games. They've been doing 6 for a while. They did 14 games, then they went 16 games. I don't like the idea of playing an NFL schedule that is 18 games.
It's all about the almighty dollar, Sean.
Yeah, all about the money.
Right? Because you're going to get 1 more home game a week or 1 more home game a year. So instead of having 8 home games, you're going to have 9 home games. That's just more money in the pocket of the owners.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, and I don't agree with that because when you think about it, 16 games is fine. Leave it the way it is. NFL, in my opinion, is becoming just such a different league. And you're right, Myth. Goodell probably screws up the dance up.
It's a joke. It's a joke. They're just screwing it up. They're screwing it up big time. And I'm not liking it. And nobody. And I haven't heard anybody on any freaking sports channel, sports station anywhere. Nobody's got the balls to say it. Well, you know what? I got the balls to say it. Roger Goodell, you're wrong. If you say you're so concerned with the players' health and welfare, then why you add Thursday games? Why are you going to add 2 more games just so they can get injured? You're wrong. 100% wrong. Take the Thursday games away. Make everybody play on Sunday and Monday like it's been for freaking years.
Yep.
I wish we can track. I wish there was a way that we can track to see how many injuries happen on Thursday games compared to how many injuries happen on Sunday games. When that team plays on Sunday and then they got to go play on Thursday.
True.
Correct? Because
Correct.
if you're the back end of it after the game is okay because then you don't have to play till the following Sunday. So you get a little break, a little longer of a break. But the beginning of it stinks because your body only gets really 3 days, 4 days to recover, and that's it, man. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. 3 days to recover, and you got to travel on Wednesday. So how much does that make sense, man? Really? How much does that make sense?
I think the scheduling is going to be too much, and playing Thursday, Sunday, Mondays, and Saturdays just a joke. It's like the NFL now is becoming like an everyday thing.
Yeah, and if they're so concerned, as they say they are, about the players' health and being injured and concussions and this and that, then why are you forcing the players to play on Thursday? Huh? Riddle me
No
that,
idea.
Batman. Riddle me that. Hey, on that note, we're going to run to a quick commercial break. You're listening to Jeff Escow and Sean Mann on
Sports World Radio.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
Which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow new way to workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Let me run with you tonight. I'll take you on a moonlight ride.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann here each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. And if you live in the Central,
You gotta figure it out for yourself.
thank God. You know what was happening yesterday? When I said that yesterday, because you weren't here, you were out gallivanting around the world trying to pick up broads at weddings.
Yeah.
Nicholas sat in for you yesterday. When I said we do the show at 6 p.m., he goes 5 p.m.
You see, they got us figured out. They're trying to beat us every time it comes to Central Time.
Yeah, he goes 5 p.m. He doesn't say figure it out for yourself. He goes 5 p.m. I'm, you rat bastard.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget, coming in at the top of the second hour today, right? It's Tuesday, right? That, the big wind himself, Frank Sprankle's coming on in. Talk some sports with us in the second hour. And I forgot to mention this. Myth, you're in the house, correct? Yes, Frank is an amateur. Frank will be in the house in the second. Myth, I'm talking to you. Myth on Friday's show at the top of the show. Everybody has to be here right at the beginning of the show on Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. If you live in the Central,
It's that simple. If you can't figure it out where you're out in the Central, you've got some serious major problems. So figure it out for yourself.
I love you, Sean. You're great. Okay, and right at the top of the show on Friday, Dr. Myth. I'm having the lead singer of the band D2. Dr. Myth is like, what? Who? Huh? What? Who? Huh? Huh? Who? Huh? What? D2 is Danny Spitz, the original guitarist of Anthrax, Dan Spitz, and Don Chaffin. Don Chaffin's the lead singer. You have to check it out. I played their song on the show at the beginning today. That song that was playing, that was D2. That was Dan Spitz and Don Chaffin. Don Chaffin will be on for a half hour right at the top of the show on Friday, 6 p.m. Friday night. He will be on the show from 6 to 6:30, confirmed. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, Dr. Myth, if you have any questions, get them ready. I'm going to be counting on you, my friend. Dr. Myth, have you seen the 2 videos? You got to check them out. I think I put them up on my Facebook page. Both videos, Little Voices and Don't Take Away. 2 awesome songs. Yeah, so you got to check it out. Little Voices and Take It All the Way. Little Voices and Take It All the Way. D2. Yeah, booked for this Friday. That's right. Booked. Hashtag booked. And I'm working on somebody very big as well. That's in the works as well. So, yeah, we're moving and grooving here at Sports World Radio. What do you got for me next there, Mr. Sean?
Yeah, we're expanding and making things big. Next story that we have,
when
we
you
go
to
to
weddings.
the NFL. Redskins RG3. The starters won't play Thursday, and I would agree with that. Robert Griffin III will sit out the final preseason game.
I think
after
he should
all.
play.
Redskins coach Jay Gruden said Tuesday he will rest his starters Thursday night.
I think he should play because he doesn't know how to slide. He should learn how to slide. Or maybe he should go to Washington Nationals and be taught how to slide. Because that son of a bitch can't slide for nothing. You know what I hate, Sean?
What?
This time of the season. This time of the year. Because you know what's coming? You know what's coming this Saturday?
Oh, college football.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Thank you. Sean, you know what upsets me? I was forced to talk college football yesterday. Can you believe that? I was forced to talk college football yesterday because that rat bastard Nicholas Turturro, otherwise known as Nicholas Spiva, had college football news. So while he spewed out his college football news, I just sit here.
Encyclopedia Man describes college football equals soccer. I can agree with that because it's coming up Saturday. The top 25 schools, the defending national champion Florida State Seminoles trying to defend their national title because of the comeback against Auburn. And, of course, yes. So there's going to be a lot of
You want to know
college
something,
football coming
Sean?
up.
You want to know
What?
something, Sean? I would rather watch hockey players play soccer on ice than watch college football. How about that? I would rather watch guys playing soccer on ice, on hockey, on skates, with no sticks, just kicking the ball on skates, than watch college football. How about that?
It's too much. ESPN has a load of games. ABC, NBC has the Notre Dame football.
Oh, it's disgusting. I just found out that the ABC is going to be playing a football Saturday night at freaking 5 o'clock my time. Who the hell cares?
That's why I'm glad we're doing an NFL show, Jeff, because then I can get away from all the college football nonsense.
Well, you know what's good? Is I'll be doing Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C Saturday night at 5 o'clock my time. So
and then our NFL show, which will be September 6th, coming up.
That's right. 2 weeks. We just did our 7th year anniversary show on Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C, dude.
I was Skyping with Encyclopedia Man. He was telling me that.
Yeah, we were doing ours. What did you just open?
I opened a Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper today, huh? No Mountain Dew?
No Mountain Dew. It's a Dr. Pepper.
The Dr. Pepper, no Mountain Dew.
Probably what Jay Gruden, going back to it with the Redskins, is probably doing. He's probably saying, look, final preseason game, let's rest all the starters, and then let's really get ourselves ready for a long NFL season.
Going to be a long NFL season until that boy learns how to slide.
The Redskins, of course, dealing with the new coach since Mike Shanahan got fired.
Look at Dr. Myth. Dr. Pepper, finally you got some taste, Sean. He's eating it. See, I don't know how he drinks that carbonated crap during the show and that doesn't belch.
Because I keep it professional.
Even when we go to commercial, you don't belch.
I put myself on mute so I can let it out or even sneeze when I mute myself.
Well,
because there is millions of people listening, Jeff.
Do I belch on the air?
As a witness, no.
Oh, you've never heard me belch on the air?
No, even if you do it, I'll just ignore it.
I just did it right there.
Jeez. Don't even hear it. Next story we get. For the New England Patriots, NFL news. The Buccaneers addressed a need to upgrade their struggling offensive line by obtaining 6-time Pro Bowl guard Logan Mankins from the New England Patriots for tight end Tim Wright and a draft pick. I like it. Patriots need a tight end. They've been trying to address that issue for a long time. And, of course, good luck to Logan Mankins. And in our second hour, of course, today we'll be talking about the AFC East and the NFC East.
The AFC East and the NFC East?
Yeah, with Frank Sprankle coming on.
I know, we're doing that today, ain't we?
Yep.
That should be very interesting because you're AFC East and I'm the NFC East. And I've been watching the Giants play, and their offense stinks.
Despite the fact you're 4-0 in the preseason?
Despite the fact that I'm 4-0 in the despite the fact that they are 4-0, let me correct myself. Despite the fact that I'm not Skip Bayless. They are 4-0 in the preseason. Yes.
And other news to report from the New England Patriots. Skip Bayless today changed his Super Bowl prediction. He said that the Browns and the Cowboys will not meet in the Super Bowl. Instead, he's predicting a New England Patriots Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl. And that's from what the Encyclopedia Man told me today.
Back pedal shuffle. He's doing the back pedal shuffle, ain't he, boys and girls?
Yeah.
What did he say now? New England and Seattle?
Yeah, New England, Seattle Super Bowl.
Yeah, now he finally is picking some good teams. I want to know why you changed your mind.
I have a belief since he sees I hate Skip Bayless and it's you, he probably says, let me show that Mr. Eskow that I can still out-duel him in a debate and realize that I can change my mind every time on first take.
What are you, a woman? Skip Bayless? What are you, women have the prerogative to change their minds? What are you, a woman? Stick with your convictions. You said it on the air. Stick with it. You opened up your mouth.
No, I'm entitled to my own opinion. I can do whatever I want. There's nothing you or anybody else can do about it.
And you know what that's called, Skip Bayless? That's called backpedaling. Because that just shows you how much of a moron you really are. Because you made the prediction in the first place.
Exactly, Encyclopedia Man. My Cavs versus my Spurs.
Yeah, exactly. Make up your freaking mind. First of all, neither one of them are your team. You didn't play for either one of them, and you don't own either one of them. And for Jiminy Crickets, you're not even a fan of either one of them. Ridiculous.
Jeff versus Skip for the WWE title.
He'd lose. He'd lose. He would lose in 2 seconds. In 2 seconds, it would be over with. Because he says things, and then he says, I forget what I just said. I'm going to say this instead. No, you can't do that. You said it. And that's that. You opened up your mouth and you said it. Unbelievable. Now he wants to change his mind.
New England against Seattle. That was what he changed his mind to for a Super Bowl.
You want to know
pick
something?
First take today.
You want to know something? I hope Cleveland and the Cowboys make the Super Bowl now. Just to piss him off. So, Matt, you don't got the balls to stay with your first. See, that's the problem. When you make your first prediction and you switch off and you go to your second prediction, rarely does your second prediction work. You know?
29 minutes past the hour, so it's just that's the way this whole situation went for first take.
Is that crazy or what?
It is crazy.
The guy just backpedals right out of it. Oh, forget what I said last week about the Cowboys and the Browns being in the Super Bowl. I changed my mind. I don't mind you changing your mind, but say that first. Don't say it second. You know? I mean, come on, stick with your conviction for Jiminy Cricket's sakes. I do, all the time, whether I'm right or mistaken. Right?
All on the WWE Network for $10.
Yeah, get me
That's
kicking.
funny, Dr. Myth.
Yeah, get me kicking Bayless's butt right on WWE Network. I'll take him right down. I don't give a flying fig Newton at all.
But he'll probably say on first take, when he keeps on hearing "I hate Skip Bayless," he'll come up there and say before we run to commercial, "I got Mr. Eskow, and I won the debate, and I am smarter than he is."
No, you changed. No, I can change my mind too. But I don't, because I stick with what I say. Because you know why? Because that's the way it's supposed to be. That's why. You willy-nilly, when you you bandwagon fan. That's what you are. You're a bandwagon fan. You'll jump on any team's bandwagon that's playing really good. Watch what he does during the season. Wow. Oh, if New England's playing bad and Seattle's playing bad and say San Francisco's playing good, oh, my San Francisco 49ers. Oh, my Miami Dolphins. Screw you! You change your freaking mind like Carter's got liver pills.
On that note, we have to run to a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Sports World Radio.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think.
Synergistic integration.
Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann here at SportsWorldRadio.com. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us today. Hey, if you want to play in our NFL football pick'em group and pick each game, winner of each game each week, send your emails to swrshow@gmail.com. And in the subject title, just put in pick'em. And in the body, put in your name and your email address, and I'll send you the invitation to join. We got a little over a week. So get on in, swrshow@gmail.com. All right, Sean, what do you got for me next, buddy?
We go to the NFL.
Yeah, hey, Sean, I
Seattle
got an idea. Unmute yourself before you start talking.
Seattle Seahawks coach Pete Carroll have been collectively fined more than $300,000, according to sources, and will lose 2 double practices in 2015 as ruled by NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell for violating the no-contact rules that govern NFL teams' off-season practices.
So they got fined for having practices that weren't legitimate, basically.
Yeah. Carroll's fine was at least $100,000, and the Seahawks were docked over $200,000. While the team will lose at least 2 minicamp practices next season because it had excessive contact between players during a June 16th practice, pair sources.
Oh, boy, look who's in the house. The big wind is in the chat room. Frank Sprankle's coming in on the next hour show, so in the top of the hour, I should say, for the rest of the show. So get ready for that. We're going to be picking our NFC East and our AFC East winners and giving the records for each team. And then a week from Saturday is going to be our first NFL show of the season. So join us for that. 6 p.m. on the West, 9 p.m. in the East. And if you live in the Central,
figure that out for yourself.
Yeah, you rat bastards. And on Friday, we're going to have the lead singer of D2 on the show at the top of the show, Don Chaffin. So join us for that as well. That should be a lot of fun. The big wind. Look at him. Warming up in the bullpen. Yeah, great. You know what I like
So what do you guys think of that? The Seahawks getting fined $300,000, $200,000 for the Seahawks organization, and Pete Carroll getting slapped with $100,000. That's a lot of money that they're paying to the NFL.
Yeah, but did they lose any draft picks or anything like that?
No, they're going to just be losing some practices.
Okay, no big deal. Move on.
The next story we get to.
I don't find it a big deal. They're losing money and some practices. I mean, is it really going to hurt them?
It's not going to hurt the Seahawks at all because we all know that the Seahawks are going to be there. And Encyclopedia Man, we all know it's going to be Seattle and San Francisco in that division. You can't say the 49ers, and you can't tell me that the 49ers are still going to be 6-10. That's still a joke.
Hey, Josh, producer of Sports World Radio, Mr. Lopez, it's not basketball season. If you want to put a logo up there, put the Bears logo up there, you rat bastard.
He's counting the days because he believes the Bulls will be good.
Or did he lose a bet and he's forced to do it?
Trust me, I know it'll be 6-10. How the heck do you think that they're going to be 6-10? Give me a break.
49ers? He thinks the 49ers are going 6-10. He's wholeheartedly on 6-10 on them.
I don't think so. You know that with Kaepernick, the 49ers are going to be there. Come on, they've been to the playoffs the last couple of years, and Harbaugh's done a good job with them. The next story we get to, the wild card standings of Major League Baseball have been so intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the Oakland A's and the Angels are battling it out in the American League West. But but the number 2 team for that second wild card, the Mariners lead the Tigers by 1 game, and they have a 3-game lead over the Yankees in that second wild card spot.
I'm looking at the wild card right now. Hold on, let me get to my wild card standings really quick. Move it. Okay, I'm looking at the Yankees are 2.5 out of the wild card.
I still don't think the Yankees, in my opinion, are still a serious threat for the second wild card spot. I still say it's going to be tough. Look at all the teams they're battling. Cleveland's right there. Toronto hasn't played well. They've gone 6-4 15 after they were 60-50. Tampa Bay, you can't rule them out. So right now you're looking at a 7-team, like a 5-team, 4-team race for that second wild card spot.
And Pittsburgh 6 out of the in the Central, and they're a game and a half out of the wild card. But they got to climb over 3 teams to get in the wild card. I hope they don't make the playoffs, Pittsburgh. How awesome would that be? Sorry, Wes. How awesome would that be? I would just love that immensely to see the freaking Pittsburgh Pirates not make the playoffs at all. I love that. And I can almost guarantee you Wes has probably already changed and moved all his Pirate stuff out and put all his Steelers stuff in, and he's getting ready for the Steelers season.
Just like with me, I put the Red Sox stuff away, and I got Patriots, and I'll have Bruins and Celtics out soon.
Josh says the San Francisco will be the Houston Texans of the NFL this year. Fact. Well, we'll see, Joshy. We'll see if you're right. Seattle is. So you got, you know something? You got something going on in the AL West that's pretty crazy right now. You know that, right?
The AL West is pretty crazy right now between the Angels and the A's. They had a big weekend series down there in Oakland. I don't know what's happened. Everybody would think that the Oakland A's were going to run away with the American League West, but the Angels have just hung around, and they're both going to be in the playoffs. I don't see any way how the A's and the Angels are not going to be in the play. Oh yeah, they'll both be there, and the wild card is going to come from the West. It'll be like a 3-team race for the West. And Encyclopedia Man says, I'm calling for an Oakland A's Royals ALCS. I think it's true. Okay, the Royals got smacked by the Yankees last night, but still, the Royals are still doing very, very well. And the Tigers are just trying to survive to try to get the second wild card spot. I can't wait to see how, remember, Detroit and Kansas City will be playing.
Well, the A's and the Angels are dead even. Both of them are at 77 and 53. Dead even. How about that? Both of them have the same record. Dead freaking even. Okay? So they're both sitting at the top of the AL West, and they're both sitting at the top of the AL wild card. Because you don't know who's going to win. Whoever doesn't win that division is going to be the wild card. And right now, Seattle's the other wild card with Detroit a half a game behind that. And Yankees 2.5 behind that. Over in the National League, it's St. Louis has got a 3-game lead. And then you got San Francisco. So right now it's St. Louis and San Francisco. Atlanta's a half a game behind that. And Pittsburgh is a 1.5 behind that. So Pittsburgh's actually got to get through 3 teams themselves to get to the wild card. So
the Tigers might adjust their pitching staff they're going to have to, Frank. They're going to have to do everything they can to play the Royals, because right now the Royals have been just an incredible baseball team.
Well,
everybody's amazed. That's the biggest thing going right now for baseball, and in the city of Kansas City. Doctor's family who lives in Lee Summit. Boy, are they going nuts.
They're only a game and a half behind Kansas City, Detroit, so it's not like they're out of it.
Yeah.
They're only a game and a half behind. So we'll see what happens. It's nuts. And Washington is playing freaking crazy right now. So it's going to be interesting coming down to the wire. I have not watched a lot of baseball during the year. But, I've caught games here and there. You want to know something, Sean? I watched more Little League baseball this year than I have Major League Baseball.
Yeah, and this, like I continue to point out, is that everybody is still hoping. There are some people like you, Jeff, that are still hoping that, okay, good, the Red Sox aren't going to be in the playoffs, but people do not probably want to see the Yankees in the playoffs. I know the Yankees have won 4 straight games. They won the game. Couldn't believe they beat James Shields last night, but still, I still think it's going to be very, very tough for them to still stay in this.
No, he wants some new blood, so you get Washington and you get Milwaukee in the National League, That's new blood right there. And then you get Kansas City, you get Baltimore, LA Angels aren't in there often. Oakland's not in there. Oakland's been in there often, but it's nice to see Oakland, So the American League will look different. National League it'll look different because you won't have the same old freaking Atlanta probably won't be in there. St. Louis will be in there and stuff, but Dodgers will be in there. But you'll have some teams that don't normally get in there, so it'll be nice. It'll be nice. So let's just hope there's no big sweeps going on. Screw that one game playoff in crap. Get rid of that.
I don't like the idea of the one-game playoff at all. That extra wild card is still an absolute joke for baseball. They shouldn't even be putting it in there. It just gives the other teams like an advantage. But just look at that wild card right now, just pretty tight for that second spot. Oakland and the Angels, those two will be in it. And I'm sure people would like to see Detroit and the Yankees out of it and then maybe see Seattle or maybe Cleveland or Toronto be in there. But Toronto has played bad ball the last 21 games. And on that note, we got to go to an update, right, Jeff?
Yeah, first update's brought to you by shirtshopper.net. NFL season's coming. They got all your NFL teams over there. Head on over to shirtshopper.net. Click on the sports tab. Click on the NFL drop-down. Pick your favorite NFL team and get your NFL t-shirt today at shirtshopper.net. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the first update of the day.
All right, Jeff. Thank you, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to Sports World Radio. 46 minutes past the hour. Welcome. NFL preseason week 3 has concluded. The Eagles over the Steelers on Thursday night, August 21st, 31-21. Moving into Friday's games, the Patriots over the Panthers, 30-7. The Giants and the Jets, the battle for what they call the key to the city of New York. The Giants over their nemesis, crosstown rival Jets, 35-24. Lions, 13, Jaguars, 12. The Packers over the Raiders by a score of 31-21. And the Seahawks blow out the Bears, 34-6. From Saturday's games, the Buccaneers over the Bills by a score of 27-14. The Cowboys are winless in the preseason. They lost to the Dolphins 25-20. Titans over the Falcons 24-17. Ravens over the Redskins 23-17. Saints over Colts 23-17. Rams blowing out the Browns by a score of 33-14. The Vikings blow out the Chiefs 30-20. Texans taking on the Broncos 18-17 to Texans. From Sunday's games, the 49ers 21, Chargers 7, and the Bengals 19 and the Cardinals 13. Moving into Major League Baseball, here are the stories and headlines from the games that we have here. The American League, the Rays taking on the Orioles tonight, Red Sox at the Blue Jays, Yankees taking on a big series against the Detroit Tigers, who are just a game back of Seattle for the second wild card spot. The Indians at the White Sox, Twins at the biggest story in baseball, the Royals, Athletics at the Astros, Marlins at the Angels, and the Rangers taking on the Mariners. In the National League, here are the games that we have for tonight. The Nationals taking on the Phillies, Cardinals at the Pirates, Cubs at the Reds, Braves at the Mets, Dodgers at the Diamondbacks, Brewers at the Padres, and the final game, the Rockies taking on the Giants. This concludes the first update for Sports World Radio, and this update was brought to you by shirtshopper.net. When we come back from commercial, we will be talking more sports, and don't forget, coming up in the top of the hour, we have Frank Sprankle coming in for some of his sports perspective. Be right back after this commercial.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2-hour of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. And if you live in the Central,
you got to figure it out for yourself.
Hey, at least you turned your mic on before you started talking. What do you got for me, pal?
All right, the next story we get to, the big headline from the NBA, the Kevin Love deal has been officially signed, sealed, and delivered, so the Cavaliers have added Kevin Love to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Whoopee! Where was all the tampering involved, man? Come on. What the hell's the matter with you people?
Yeah, we're all the experts now saying
Even a
the
blind man
Cavaliers
can
now
see
are
that.
the heavy favorites to win the NBA championship.
Even a blind man can see that. Way to go, you rat bastards. Freaking ridiculous. Even a blind man can see that there was tampering involved. I didn't see nothing. Yeah, okay, whatever. Sure. Bunch of boneheads. I hate that. Can't stand that. But he didn't sign a new contract, did he?
No, they just got the trade all done where
That's
Andrew
right.
Wiggins now will go to the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I got to ask you, still, is it the Bulls that are the team that's going to do it, or will the Cavaliers be the team that
Well,
does
let me
it?
ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does Kevin Love sign a contract, 5-year deal there, or next year, or is he not going to sign a contract and just be a free agent next year and go somewhere else?
I think it's possible, Jeff, that he could sign maybe for a few years with the Cavs and probably say, well, I want to play with LeBron, and wherever LeBron goes, I'll follow him wherever he goes.
Oh, God, that's a bunch of freaking bull. I would want to be on the other team against LeBron so I could stick it to him.
Look at what Frank says. Even with Kevin Love, the Bulls are still a threat in the East.
No,
And
they're
then-
not.
And then Encyclopedia Man says, with Love, the Cavs are a 6th seed at best.
6th seed. You see that? 6th. I'm not saying they're not a playoff team, but they're not. Chicago's a team to beat. I don't care what anybody says. And that's coming from a Knicks fan, and that hurts. Okay? Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
I'm going to ask everybody this question. Kevin Love's with Cleveland. They're going to win the NBA championship. the first year James Wade and Bosch were together, did they win the NBA championship?
No, they did not win an NBA championship in 2011. They lost to Dallas in 6 games.
So what makes you think Cleveland's going to do it? With the coach who's never coached in the NBA for. With 90% of the team never been to the playoffs before. With a point guard who gets hurt all the time. Kevin Love's never been to the playoffs. Mike Miller's on there, old. They just signed Sean Merriman, old. They're going to get freaking Ray Allen, maybe, old.
Cow, welcome here. Cow Pody Radio, good to see you.
Cow Pody Radio in the house.
Must be a new person.
Welcome, Cow Pody.
You thinking Cleveland is a top 2 team is like you saying Johnny Manziel will be good. All the Cleveland fans thinking that this is the time where the Titletown USA will be in Cleveland. Give me a break. I don't think so at all. I would say for Cleveland fans, they better just hope and pray that they can try to do better and hope that their teams will do well. I think the Cavs will make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to get very far. The Browns, I'll agree with there. Either 2-14. They're another rebuilding year.
You know what? I'm kind of liking this Cow Pody Radio. He says the Browns are going to be 2-14. I'll go one step better. I say Johnny Manziel is not going to be in the NFL. It's going to be like a Tim Tebow, and I've been saying it since before he even got drafted. And you could put money on it. You could take that to the bank.
And Frank goes, Jeff, LeBron James is the coach of the Cavs.
Hey, the big wind, Frank Sprankle, I get it. I understand what you're saying about LeBron being the coach, but I don't think so. I think LeBron is not going to be the coach. I think he's going to let the coach that he only met once so far be the coach. LeBron's got enough problem. LeBron's going to have to play 40 minutes a game, 48 minutes a game, or wherever the hell it is, and score 50 to 60 points a game for them to win. Do you really think that's going to happen? Listen, I got an idea. Let LeBron score as much as he wants. Shut the rest of the team down. You ain't going to win like that. And number 2,
man says 1-15, John. For the Browns, yeah.
And number 2, they got no freaking bench. And you don't know how their defense is going to be. The hell's the matter with you people?
Frank goes, LeBron might want to hang out more with David Blatt than with Johnny Manziel.
Oh, they're going to win. Everybody, they're going to win. They're going to win. They don't take into consideration that David Blatt's never coached in the NBA. They don't know how their defense is going to be. They're kind of old.
And what kind of a bench are we going to see from the Cavaliers?
Nothing.
If you remember that lineup I read to you,
well,
there's one player who's 19 years old. You got players in their 20s.
Well, that lineup is
starting.
Sean, that lineup has changed tenfold since we went over it.
Yeah.
Okay. But I still don't see it happening. I don't care what you people say. I don't care what anybody says. You people are nuts. And you know what? The only person that has reason over there at ESPN is Jemele Hill, because she thinks the same way I do. And I just told you people, James, Wade, and Bosch didn't win it in their first year in Miami. So what makes you think that Cleveland's going to do it? Stupid asses. I just don't get it.
LeBron might want to hang out more. Yeah. I already said that. But pretty funny what Frank is kind of pointing out there.
Well, NBA season, before you know it, it's going to be upon us. We got one more month off, and then they're done. Or they go at the end of they go to spring training at the end of next month, right?
The NBA training camp is going to be coming up here very shortly. That starts around September. The preseason begins in October.
Right. So I figure about September 15th, 16th, 17th, right in there, they'll be starting to go.
Encyclopedia man Stephen A. Smith said it's over.
It's over. What's over?
Are you saying that it's over for the Cavaliers, or are you saying that the Bulls have got it and it's over for next year for the Cleveland Cavaliers?
I'm hoping the Bulls win.
Man?
I'm hoping the Bulls freaking win. You know?
I probably would say that's true, Frank, because the NHL players are back right now. The exhibition starts in late September. First game starts October 8th. So, yeah, I would say that's true.
All right, so what do you say we go to a quick break? And the other side of this break, we'll have the big wind in here with us. You're listening to Jeff Esco and Showman on
Sports World Radio.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. As promised, the big wind is in the house with us. Frank Sprankle, what's going on there, buddy?
Thank you so much, Jeff and Sean. It is great. The raging gale is in the house.
Oh, God. Sean, we're in trouble.
We most certainly are in trouble. It is Frank Sprankle, the man who does a very good job with the sports perspective. Frank, yesterday was the 25th anniversary of the Pete Rose. This was a good story for you to bring up because that was a big turning point in baseball. What's your thoughts? You remember where you were?
Yes, I do, Sean. I remember being 8 years old and actually watching the press conference live in which Giamatti gave the press conference, of course, the commissioner of baseball, only to pass away 8 days later of a heart attack. And this was a morning press conference, and it was carried by every major network. It wasn't just carried by ESPN. You got to understand how different the media landscape is. You only had one major sports network back then in ESPN. And that was just it. You had just one ESPN channel. You didn't have ESPN2 or ESPN News. You just had CNN and CNN Headline News. You didn't have all these news channels. and you had the major networks. All of them carried the press conference in which Bar Giamatti announced that Pete Rose had been banned for life from Major League Baseball. And and to this day, it is still a tragedy because I can't help but watch the Olbermann special last night.
That was awesome.
And I forget, it slips my mind. It was awesome, Jeff, but it slips my mind who mentioned this. But for Pete Rose, for him, it feels like a prison without walls.
Correct.
These last 25 years, considering he has been banned from baseball. And let's just take a look at where Major League Baseball has evolved over the last 25 years. In the last 25 years, we have had a work stoppage, which has meant the cancellation of a great baseball season that never was in 1994. We have had players take performance-enhancing supplements. There have been some good sides as far as Major League Baseball goes. New ballparks have opened up in 25 years. Constantly, more than half of the teams now have new ballparks. We've had 4 expansion teams in Major League Baseball. And even better in terms of the collective bargaining agreement, too. There is more competitive balance. And attendance seems to be up as well. But Pete Rose, listen, the time has come for Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle, to get the opportunity to once again be a part of the fraternity he loved, and that's the game of baseball. Bud Selig, you are leaving very soon. Make it a priority. Don't let your successor, Rob Manfred, do this. You do this and reinstate Pete Rose now.
I'm totally with you 100%. And that Olbermann special last night was freaking awesome. Just awesome. I enjoyed it. Keith, was it 25 years in exile for Pete Rose?
Guys, doesn't this make you not want to visit the Baseball Hall of Fame until Pete Rose is at least eligible?
Yeah. Why would you want to go
For
there?
me, I don't feel like I want to go to Cooperstown unless they make Pete Rose eligible. Not saying in the Hall of Fame, but eligible. His name on the ballot.
No, I agree with you.
I'll tell you one thing. If Barry Bonds gets into the Hall of Fame before Pete Rose, there is something wrong with Major League Baseball.
Well, you know something? Pete Rose said something in the interview in the show last night that I kind of totally 100% agree with, and I know Frank does too. Okay? The guys who did PEDs, steroids, got busted. Great example, Alex Rodriguez. He's still playing. He'll be playing next year.
He will be back next year.
He'll be back
that's
next
a slap
year.
on the wrist for taking performance-enhancing drugs. Listen, if you want to keep Pete Rose out of baseball for betting on it, then you know what? The time has come, ladies and gentlemen, to add more cardinal sins to every clubhouse in Major League Baseball. And heck, if you're going to ban gamblers, ban the cheaters.
I agree. It's ridiculous.
What is wrong with Major League Baseball?
Guys who get DUIs, guys who get adulteries, freaking batters. I don't care. Abusers. They all get second chances, correct?
That's what Pete Rose said in his interview with Jeremy Schaff on the Olbermann special last night.
The guy's not asking to play.
Well, Encyclopedia Man has added, Pete Rose was all right. Only thing of relevance for me to him was when he got tombstone 3 times at 3 different WrestleMania by Kane. He's a good player. The ban was unjust, in my opinion, and they should burn the bridge before he passes away.
By the way, can I say this? By the way, Pete Rose is in the Hall of Fame. He's in the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. Encyclopedia Man should know that.
Correct.
What are you saying, Jeff?
Yeah. How in the wild world of sports is Charlie Hustle not in the Hall of Fame?
Guys, Pete Rose played with the most intensity, the most energy that anyone in this game has known. Seriously.
I totally freaking agree.
Pete Rose plays the game the way everybody should.
Yes. And he should be able to teach that.
Oh, yeah, he would be great. He wants to teach the young players. And look at the youth movement. Major League Baseball is going through a huge youth movement right now with players coming up in their 20s, predominantly in their early and mid-20s. So for Pete Rose, a guy that knows what it's like to have come up as a rookie with the Cincinnati Reds in 1963 when he was only 22 years old, it would only do him just cause to teach this great game. My favorite game is the sport of baseball.
No,
Pete Rose would be the biggest influence for these young minds as they develop as Major League ball players.
Okay, but here's the big question.
Hold on 1 second, Sean. Hold on 1 second. I just put a link in the room, okay? Copy and paste it. That's the Keith Olbermann channel on YouTube. The exile of Pete, the 25 years in exile of Pete Rose is there. They got it in a bunch of different segments. Go watch it. It's freaking awesome.
Guys, I feel like we should do something. We should put together a petition of signatures to get Pete Rose reinstated. I feel like we should do that.
I feel that we should get Pete Rose on the show and let him make his plea.
Pete Rose
here's the big question, though. I got to ask you, Jeff and Frank. If Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens or Alex Rodriguez make it into the Baseball Hall of Fame before Pete Rose does,
I'm disgusted.
What will your reaction be? You'll be disgusted.
Then you know what? I'm going to say this. The United States of America is screwed up.
Why?
It's screwed up.
Why do you say
listen,
that?
we're going to allow these guys that cheat, that use performance. Some of them you mentioned, McGuire, the guy, let's take McGuire, a guy that used performance-enhancing supplements. He's the hitting coach of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I know. He's still in baseball.
Yeah, if we allow him in the Hall of Fame, then guess what? There's a serious problem.
I hate to tell you, none of those riders are going to allow any of those guys in the Hall of Fame.
And they shouldn't. They have no business in the Hall of Fame based on their illegal action. Well, it wasn't illegal at the time, but now it is. Based on their wrongful actions, and they were wrongful.
I hate to tell you, Pete Rose didn't bet on baseball when he was playing the freaking game.
No, this is when he was managing.
Correct.
And he never bet on, hold on, but it's also important to note, he never bet on the Cincinnati Reds, the team he had managed in the late 1980s, to lose.
No, I understand that. And I get that. But the bookies can, he calls one day and he bets on his team. The next day he doesn't call. He doesn't think his team's going to win. The bookies can bet again. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. There's a pattern here.
Correct. So I understand that. But still, he didn't do it while he was playing. Put him in the Hall of Fame for what he did while he was playing.
Yeah, you know what?
Do you remember that time in the '99 Fall Classic between the Yankees and the Braves, the Jim Gray interview? I'll never forget that. Remember that time when Pete Rose was asked about, didn't it have something to do with gambling? Remember that, Frank, in that '99 Fall Classic?
Yeah. Well,
I think Jim Gray went in the wrong direction with that interview. You know what Jim Gray should have asked along the lines of the reinstatement process? He should have just asked Pete Rose, Pete, look, we know you've been banned from the game for 10 years. You could apply for reinstatement after 8. It's been 2 years since you've applied for reinstatement. Could you tell us maybe how the process is going? And I'm sure Pete would have been more than willing to answer that question.
That interview was Jim Gray's fault.
Yeah, it was. It was disrespectful because you know what? We were honoring Pete Rose, the ball player, that night. The only question that should have asked was, hey, how's the reinstatement process? Could you maybe tell us something new?
Sean, if you go and watch the link that I put in the root, if you copy and paste it and put it somewhere and watch all those videos, you will like this so much better. Trust me.
Sean, that was just Jim Gray trying to get 15 minutes of fame.
I'll never forget that when he had that interview. Now, for another story, Jeff and I were talking about this before you came on, Frank. This is kind of my little story. Your thoughts about the American League wild card? You've got to be amazed with just how it's been amazing the last couple weeks. Just if you look at the first wild card, it's going to be the Angels and the A's. Are going to be in from the West. Are going to be in there. But that second wild card spot is a dogfight.
Listen. Can we not just talk about the wild card? Why don't we talk about some of these divisional races outside of that American League East, in which you have the Orioles on top by 6 games over the Yankees? Sure, that race is too close to call, but how about the races that are just nail biting right now? Look at the American League Central. Everybody is talking about what great of a story the Kansas City Royals are, and they only have a game and a half lead over the Detroit Tigers at the moment. Pretty much it's a two-team race. I know Cleveland is 5.5 back. Yeah, I guess you can count Cleveland in this race, but they're barely hanging on with a month left of the season. Of course, I had a chance to watch as much as I could the Angels and the A's. And by the way, I had a chance to see the Orioles last Sunday. It was just 2 days ago. I saw them against the Cubs, and I'll tell you what, those Oriole bats that we saw Monday night in which they hit 5 homers back-to-back and back-to-back-to-back, quiet on Sunday in Chicago against the Cubs.
14 minutes after the hour, and Jeff and Frank, I actually think that it would be kind of cool to say maybe a Seattle or a Cleveland or maybe Toronto in the playoffs. I think people said, okay, we've seen too much of Detroit, the Yankees, and Tampa Bay. Maybe we can see if we can get a new team in there. I know where I live here in Idaho, there are a lot of people excited about the Mariners. They're just amazed because this team wasn't even from the beginning supposed to be in this thing. And I got to tell you, Lloyd McClendon has done some job this year of keeping the Mariners in this. And they're up 1 game for that second wild card spot.
There are 2 guys that I can think of that are deserving of Manager of the Year of the American League, and they are both out of that American League West. Yes, Lloyd McClendon is one, and Mike Scioscia is the other. Of course, the skipper.
Scioscia.
You got to give him some due.
Yeah, I know we got to get to commercial. Mike Scioscia's done a great job with the Angels. Look at what he's done. 1 World Series. He's taken the Angels to a bunch of playoff appearances.
Well, we're looking at now, Sean.
I can't wait to see with probably like 6 weeks left, 5 weeks left of the season, how the American League West is going to shape out. And on that note, yes, we have to run to commercial.
You're listening to Jeff Escow, Sean, Frank Spreaker on
Sports World Radio.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to Workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio, second hour of the show. That's right. I said second hour of the show because we do this show each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. And if you live in the Central?
Well, that would be 5 p.m.
Oh, yeah, he beat me. Figure it out for yourself. All right, the next story we get to at 18 minutes past the hour. Jeff, Johnny Manziel, what do you think?
Well, last week we had Frank on the show, and Frank said, wouldn't it be funny if Michael Sam sacked Johnny Manziel? And lo and behold, blammo whammo, he did it twice-o. Frank, that's pretty good, buddy.
Well, you got to understand the attention you had. These are two of the notable draft picks from last spring. Not to mention, for some reason, Johnny Manziel, who has this huge cult following. Actually, you know what? Nicholas and I have a name for Johnny Manziel. It's just Johnny Doofus now. But if you look at Manziel, he's got the number one jersey sell in the NFL. Sam is actually in the top 10 as well. But for Michael Sam, I mean, not only that, what about the fingers? What about the money salute afterwards?
Yeah, I know. That's great. I love that.
Dude, Michael Sam just completely rubbed it in on Johnny Manziel. And I'll say this, no matter what you think about Michael Sam in terms of his preferred choice of lifestyle, the guy seems to be a great individual in terms of his character, in terms of his demeanor, in terms of the way he presents himself. Wherever he makes the Rams 53-man roster, that remains to be seen. But, hey, I wish the guy well.
I hope he does.
And if not, there'll be other teams. Don't you think other teams will have interest?
Yes.
I wish Manziel the best of luck, too. But like we've said from the picks from the AFC North, look, the Cleveland Browns are going to be the team that's going to be in rebuilding. People just can't say it's going to be happy times in Cleveland because they got everything going for their sports right now. If I was there, I'd say, I'm not going to be cocky. I'll believe it. It'd be like I would believe it when I would see it. You can't just say, oh, the Browns are going to win the Super Bowl. Oh, the Cavaliers are going to win the NBA championship.
Oh, the Browns aren't going to win the Super Bowl.
That's what people in Cleveland probably in the dog pound, they probably would say that. But look at the competition.
How much hard booze are they drinking in Cleveland these days?
Not very much, because they probably realize they've been hit with sports misery before. If you look at they're 0-3 in they're 0-3 in the preseason, and the season starts September 7th. And if people say Cleveland's going to be winning it, it's an absolute joke. You can't just tell me that because you think that they're going to be great. Look who they open up against. We're going to be talking about this on our Saturday night show. Browns go to Pittsburgh and play the Steelers, and Manziel's going to be on the bench.
Hey, let me ask you this. As long as Brian Hoyer is the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, and by the way, I think you guys will agree with me on this. Johnny Manziel has made Brian Hoyer famous.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, of course.
Think about this. While we're watching Browns games on TV, whoever the network that's carrying the game, and let's look at the game against Pittsburgh and the games that will follow, as long as Brian Hoyer is taking the snaps from center, how many times are we going to see the camera showing Johnny Manziel in a ball cap?
A lot.
Not very uncertain.
Oh, we're going to see a lot of it. As a matter of fact, we might as well have Manziel cam, seriously, in which you have the actual game broadcast, but in the corner, let's say in the bottom right-hand corner, you have Manziel cam just showing Johnny Manziel on the sideline.
Right.
Because that's all. Go ahead.
If you look at what's happened with the Browns throughout their history, look at all the bad teams the Browns have had, because I'm looking at it right now that the last time the Browns even made the playoffs, you remember it, Frank, it was a wild game. It was January 5th of 2003. That's when they played the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they blew that game. And ever since then, it just seems like with the Browns, things have just gone downhill from there. It's been Butch Davis, who was coach, he was of the Browns, he got fired. It's just been they've been the team of transition.
They've had 20 starting quarterbacks since the 1999 season when Cleveland was granted that expansion team, and thus they became the Browns by agreement of the NFL. But you know what? How many starting quarterbacks have they had? How many games have they won? It hasn't been many. They've only made one appearance. How many head coaches, for that matter, have the Cleveland Browns had since their existence in 1999?
And you have to think about what's been a real blow for the people of Cleveland, for the whole city of Cleveland, is the Baltimore Ravens. Because remember, that Browns team moved to Baltimore, and look what the Ravens have done. They've won 2 Super Bowls. And Brown fans are probably thinking, great, now we got to listen to Art Modell. And they're probably saying the late, great Art Modell is probably getting a huge laugh. He's saying, I'm 2-0 against the Cleveland Browns because I won 2 Super Bowls. You got to remember, when they moved out, there was anger from the fans of Cleveland saying, Art Modell, you are an expletive. Expletive this, expletive that.
Could you imagine what? Not much the Super Bowl a couple seasons ago when the Ravens defeated the 49ers, but more so Super Bowl 35 when the Ravens defeated Jeff your Giants. But think about this. Could you imagine how devastating that was to the city of Cleveland? Of course, by then it had been the second year of existence of the Cleveland Browns, but this was the team that had initially located from Cleveland after the 1995 season, and then 5 years later, what do they have? They have a Super Bowl title. That was devastating for the people of Cleveland that day in January of 2001.
Quite frankly, Jeff and Frank, I can tell you for the history of Cleveland sports, I'm glad I don't live in Cleveland, because Cleveland fans are, of course, super sensitive, but it just always ends in misery. If you look at all the
sports fans.
Yeah, they're great sports fans, but it always ends in misery. Think about all the teams that they've had there that have come so close to winning it. You've had the Browns, who haven't won a championship since the Jim Brown days going back to the mid-'60s. You've had the Indians, who haven't won a World Series since 1948. And the Cavaliers have had their hearts broken because with what the Bulls did to them and when Jordan hit the game-winning shot over Craig Elo.
Let me ask you this. When you think of sports fans, would you agree in saying that some of the best sports fans are blue collar? Because I'm a firm believer they are.
What do you think, Jeff? I don't know if Jeff is back, if he's having difficulties. I would say it's hard to say with blue collar and how big it is.
I think they are.
You think they are?
I think that those, John, that go to work 9 to 5, that carry the lunch bucket every day, those are the individuals that make up for the best sports conversation. They go to work, they carry the lunch bucket, it's 9 to 5 for them. They'll head to the tavern, the saloon, whatever you want to call it. And what are they discussing? They're discussing Sunday's game, or maybe they're discussing that particular team in the pennant race. Look at the fair weather fans here. I think the Cleveland sports fans, they're much better than the Los Angeles sports fans. Sure, Los Angeles is a bigger city, but take a look at Dodger games, for instance. The people arrive there late and they leave there early. So guess what? Cleveland, you have better sports fans than those in Los Angeles.
What do you think, Jeff?
I happen to agree. 100%.
Well, yeah, and think about every fan base for every big city is different. Where you live, Frank, you probably wonder what is it like for the city of Chicago and how the fans are there where you live.
Oh, well, let me tell you, as far as the Chicago teams, it's a tradition. It's carried down and passed down from one generation to another. Say what you want. You got the two baseball teams. Yeah, the baseball teams seem to be a thing passed down from generation to generation. Of course, the Cubs have a strong following. I honestly think the White Sox fans, Encyclopedia Man's going to love me for saying this, but I do believe the White Sox fans are some of the best in baseball because they live and die by their team. They strongly love it when they win, but when you lose, they're going to give it to you.
And it has to be the same situation, Frank, for Cub fans, because Cub fans, they live and die by every pitch.
Nowadays, I think more nowadays, because when people want to be there, they want to they want to be there for the Wrigley Field atmosphere. Well, guess what? That atmosphere has kind of died away. I'll tell you what. The problem with these Grey Poupon idiot sports fans, and I call them the bandwagon fans, the Grey Poupon idiots, unfortunately, they have emerged at the United Center when it comes to seeing Blackhawk games. Because if you go to a Blackhawk game, and I've gone to Blackhawk games for many years, and I love the direction the Blackhawks have gone under owner Rocky Wirtz.
Encyclopedia Man, just a sec, Frank, he says they go there to drink. They don't watch the game at Wrigley Field.
They do, but I think a lot of those people have since really dispersed because the Cubs have not been winning over the last few years. That element will turn.
Jeff, my question to you is, you've lived in San Diego since 1986. What's the atmosphere like for sports there? Chargers and San Diego State. It's got to be pretty big because I'll have to tell you real quickly, I always remember when Charger games happen, I can see they have pictures that they show on TV of people camping out and waiting for the big games for the Chargers and for San Diego State.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like there?
Well, there's a lot more to do here in San Diego.
Oh, yeah, you got the beach. I mean, look at Miami. Do you know, with LeBron in Miami, think about this. The Heat weren't number one in attendance. It was the Chicago Bulls that were typically the number one team in attendance. In Miami, there you have the beaches. You have probably more clubs than any city in the United States of America. I mean, think about Miami. Those guys, fans there, all they would do was show up for the playoffs.
Right. Right. That's all they do. That's all they do is show up for the playoffs.
Yeah, they have no concept.
Man, he makes a good point. Chicago is as bad as bandwagon as New York fans. They pretend to be real fans, but they switch their mind every week. Oh, 1 week I'm a Bear fan, the next I'm a Packer fan.
Okay, you know what? I don't know about the Packer fan.
What do you say?
I will agree with that. Listen, as one native Chicago to another, I will agree with the encyclopedia man on that. Because you know what? These people don't have a concept. They just need somewhere to go. They need somewhere to be seen, like the great poupon idiots that they are. And oh my goodness, look at where I am. Oops, oh my goodness. Jonathan Toews. Who does he play for?
Before we run to the final update, I did a show with Jeff a few years ago, and there was a person in Chicago, and this made big headlines. There was a guy who was a Packer fan. He was employed. He worked for like this car dealership.
Okay.
He wore a Packer tie, and he got fired in Chicago for wearing a Packer tie.
I remember that.
That's pretty nuts. But
that's sure discrimination.
I'm pretty sure where you live, Frank, I'm sure you've seen a lot of people who are Packer fans, and Jeff, not just Charger fans. I'm sure you've seen a lot of 49er fans where you live and Raider fans before we go to commercial and update.
Oh, yeah, they're all over the place here, Raider fans. They're everywhere. It's the nature of the beast.
And it's like it's so packed every time the Raiders play Chargers in San Diego. I've seen how people camp out at the parking lot and have their big tailgate party.
Yeah, it's the nature of the beast. It's what it is. Yep. All right, let's run to our final update of the day. This update is brought to you by KeuregCoffeeMachines.com. For all your Keurig coffee machine products, you're looking for coffee, tea, you need a coffee machine? Head on over to KeuregCoffeeMachines.com. Brewing perfection, one cup at a time. That's KeuregCoffeeMachines.com. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the last update of the day.
Welcome, everybody, to the final update for Sports World Radio. It's 31 minutes past the hour, August 26, 2014. American League, here's the games going on. Right now, the Yankees and the Tigers game is being delayed due to rain, and they have no idea when the first pitch will be thrown. However, there are games in progress right now. A big game in the American League East. The Rays are taking on the Orioles. Right now, it's 1-0 Rays against the Orioles, who are trying to win their American League East Division title since 1997. The Red Sox have a 3-0 lead. Dustin Pedroia has gone yard for the Red Sox, who are pretty much just trying to end their season strong and play spoiler, especially for a Blue Jays team that has gone 6-15 in the last 21 games and starting to fade big time for that second American League wildcard spot. Other games that we have tonight, the Indians are also a team that's in the mixture with the Mariners, the Tigers, the Yankees, the Rays. They're taking on the White Sox tonight. The Twins taking on a team that's leading the Tigers by 2 games in the American League, the Kansas City Royals. Athletics at the Astros. They just had a big weekend series, of course, against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. The Marlins taking on the Red Hot Angels. The Rangers at the Mariners. Seattle leads that second wild card spot by 1 game. In the National League, there is 1 game that is being delayed and currently being played. Cubs at the Reds, and it's delayed because of rain. Other games we have, the Nationals, who have been red hot, taking on the Phillies. That game's tied at 0. The Cardinals at the Pirates tied at 0. Braves at Mets tied at 0. Moving to the bottom of the second. Other games, the Dodgers at the Diamondbacks, Brewers at the Padres, and the Cubs taking on the Giants. NFL, week number 3 has concluded. Week 4 is going to be coming up on August 28th for the NFL preseason. And a week from this Thursday, of course, is the first game for the NFL regular season. College football starts on Saturday, August 30th, with all the top 25 teams. Florida State again is picked to win the national title and possibly match up against Oklahoma. For your update for Sports World Radio, I am John Mann. Let's run to commercial break. And this update was brought to you by Keurig.coffeemachines.com.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think. Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta. Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
Chloe is 9 months old.
She is the greatest thing ever.
One little smile, one little laugh. Anybody? We would do anything for her. My name is Kim Bryant, and my husband and I made a will on LegalZoom.
It was really easy to do.
We created LegalZoom to help you take care of the ones you love. Go to LegalZoom.com today and complete your will in minutes. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, and the big wind, Frank Sprankle, joining us like he does each and every Tuesday and Thursday in the second hour of the show. Okay.
Howdy, partners.
Howdy, partner. Wow, that's pretty good. I like that, Frank.
Welcome, everybody. 37 minutes past the hour. Next, we're going to talk about the last 2 divisions. Frank, I'm glad you're here, because the floor is yours. We're going to start off the 37 minutes after the show with the AFC East. Who do you pick to win the AFC East this year?
Oh, geez. I don't have to say the New England Patriots, but I don't think I have a choice. I think the New England Patriots, why I don't see them as being a Super Bowl team, they do have Tom Brady. They made an interesting trade today, however, but I will have to say New England, that team always stacked up. They're going to win the division this year.
What's the record? What do you pick?
I would have to say the Patriots something like 12-4.
You're going to say 12-4?
I'll say 12-4 for the Patriots in 2014. But I don't think they're my team destined for Glendale.
I think if you look at that AFC, I think, again, everybody's going to be wanting it to be the Patriots taking on the Broncos because of the rivalry between Brady and Peyton Manning.
Right. We don't have it much longer.
They don't have much longer, but they still got plenty in them. Now, there's 3 teams left in the AFC East. Let's move to another team, the New York Jets. Frank, what do you pick for their record?
Well, the New York Jets, you hope that they can be a better club, but I would have to say at best maybe 10-6, but 9-7 would probably be realistic for the New York Jets.
And why do you say 9-7 for them?
It just seems that the New York Jets, although they don't have Mark Sanchez, so maybe we can look at the fact that they can't be a better team, that they can be a better team now without Mark Sanchez.
Do you think, though, and Jeff, I'm going to ask you this too, do you think a couple weeks into the season, Rex Ryan could possibly say, it doesn't work with Geno, I'm going to go with Michael Vick to be the starting quarterback for the Jets?
I think so.
I think a couple of weeks is not enough.
And do you think that this is also the year, before we move to the final two teams, do you think Rex's job is on the line? Do you think if he doesn't get it done, boom, Woody Johnson comes up and says, that's it, Rex, you've had a great run. You've taken us to 2 AFC championship games. Bye-bye.
Okay, I'll say this. Let's say in the first 6 weeks of the season, it's something like 2-4. That's the Jets' record. I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to make a coaching change at that point of the season. Seriously. But
I think
you may say like with Wade Phillips. Remember Wade Phillips when he was fired, but when Jerry Jones pulled the plug on him?
Yeah, I think that's the same thing with Rex.
I think
he's
that could
realizing.
happen.
So you're saying that the Jets will be in second place, Frank. Your take on the Miami Dolphins. What do you think of the Dolphins
I think they're a
this year?
third-place team. Well, as far as the Dolphins go, they're always a team that many people don't necessarily pick to do something big. But you know what? I got to say that the Miami Dolphins are going to be probably flirting with that 500 record, 8-8 in that AFC East. So I honestly see 8-8 being the record of the Miami Dolphins this year. I don't see them being a playoff team, but I see them being probably a solid 500 ball club.
And do you think, Frank, that the Dolphins haven't really been the same since Dan Marino
Absolutely.
retired?
They've been looking for that. They've been looking for that one guy that's going to lead the Dolphins to glory, and they're hoping that it's Ryan Tannehill. I think more pressure is starting to amount to Ryan Tannehill in terms of trying to find success because he is a young quarterback. He is in a division that has been dominated too much by Tom Brady, but Brady is getting older. Tannehill, a relatively young quarterback. I do think Ryan Tannehill's got to feel some pressure here. Wouldn't you say that?
I would say he's got to feel some pressure and to try to get the Dolphins to the playoffs. Miami has not made the playoffs, I believe, since the year the Dolphins clinched the AFC East, but been a long time for the Dolphins. Another team that has not been the same since the Jim Kelly era, and that would be the Buffalo Bills. Been a long playoff drought for them. Frank, what do you look at the Bills? It seems like every time you think, why do you say 4-12?
4-12 because they don't have quite the weapons that many people would hope for. I know they drafted Sammy Watkins as their first-round draft pick. They don't have a quality quarterback right now. But let's understand this. What will this distraction with all of the talk of will the Bills stay in Buffalo? Will the Bills relocate? What is that going to do to this team psychologically?
That's a very, very good point.
That's why I have to say 4-12. I think that's going to have something to do with it as well.
And I think it's going to – and I'm going to say real quickly before we move to you, Jeff, I think that the fact that the Bills and all this talk of them moving or whoever the new ownership is going to continue to be a distraction throughout the whole course of the season. Now, before we move to you, Jeff, here's Joshy's picks real quickly, the Encyclopedia Man. He says that the Dolphins are going to prevail and win the AFC East. They'll go to 10-6. The Jets will move to 9-7 this year, move to second. The Patriots will go to 8-8, and the Buffalo Bills will be 6-10. Jeff, now, buddy, the floor is yours. Who do you think will win the AFC East?
Seems that we lost Jeff. Hello, Jeff.
Oh, here I am. I'm sorry, guys. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to pick New England. I'm gonna go New England 12-4. I'm gonna pick Miami to go 9-7.
9-7 for the Dolphins.
Uh-huh.
That's what I said for the Jets.
Jets are gonna go 8-8.
And pretty much that, if you're going to say that, Jeff, you're probably thinking that's going to be Rex Ryan's job if he doesn't get to the playoffs this year.
And Buffalo's going to go 7-9.
Yeah, that AFC East, if you look at that, it always seems like Jeff and Frank and Encyclopedia Man, that it's just been all through New England. If anybody's going to try to overtake the Patriots, and it hasn't happened very much, you have to overtake them, and it is not easy, Frank.
It's almost like who's going to be bridesmaids of the Patriots. That's what it always is every year. Who's going to finish second in New England? That's the question.
And it seems like, the Jets always feel like, okay, we can challenge them. And Rex Ryan coming out and saying the Patriots need to be concerned about us. I have to disagree. My pick as a Patriot fan, I'm saying the Patriots will be 14-2 this year. I just think that the Patriots have a much improved defense. They got Darrelle Revis. They made a big splash for the tight end. That's the way I would say that they will be. The next team will be the Miami Dolphins. I think Miami, they're going to be a team that'll be 9-7. And for the Jets, I'm going to say the New York Jets are going to be 6-10. I still think that there is a bit of concern there, and that they don't have enough to stay very competitive in the AFC East. A friend of mine was telling me, that they'll be there. And for the Dolphins, I'm going to say they're going to be in the last place, and I think they're going to go 4-12. So, the Bills will be 4-12.
Yeah, right. And I have to say the reason why the Bills are going to be 4-12, and you're in agreement with me there, Sean, is because, yes, they don't quite have the talent, but also we don't know what the future of this team is. We don't even know who's going to be owning this team. There are so many unanswered questions. As a matter of fact, right now, perhaps we can say the Buffalo Bills are the one team in the NFL right now that have so many unanswered questions about their future.
And on that note, we're going to run to the final commercial break for Sports World Radio. Jeff, Frank, and I will be right back. And when we come back, our final pick for the NFL divisions, and that'll be the NFC East. This ought to be interesting.
Sports World Radio.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to the final segment here of Sports World Radio. I'm Jeff Escal, the host of Sports World Radio. Alongside me, like he is each and every day, Sean Mann, the update man, and always in with us every Tuesday and Thursday in the second hour of the show, the big wind, Frank Sprankle himself.
Gale Force 1.
Okay, so we got just the NFC East left, correct?
That is right. And Jeff, here we are, 48 minutes past the hour. I will go next, and I'm going to say for the NFC East, you know the team I think has a good chance of winning it? I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to say that they're going to go 11-5. Look at what the Eagles brought last year, Frank, when it came to the situation. They had to go all the way to Dallas just to get into the playoffs, and they were able to squeak by them 24-22. That's why I'm saying that Philadelphia will go 11-5, and then the team I think comes right behind them, and it'll be a tough one. I'm going to say the Jeffs, New York Football Giants, are going to go 10-6. I just think it's going to be a two-team race. Third place, the Washington Redskins. I'm going to put them. I'm going to say that they're going to come in at 8-8. And I'm going to say, hard to believe this, I'm going to say Dallas Cowboys are going to be 8-8 again. And then that'll lead to the direct departure of Jason Garrett. I just think Philadelphia and the Giants are just very tough than the Redskins and Cowboys. Frank, now it's you.
So will I be coaching the Dallas Cowboys in 2015?
I sure as hell hope not.
Frank, it's
You read my mind. You read my mind with numero uno in that NFC East, and I did have to say the Philadelphia Eagles at 11-5. Boy, what a season it was for Philadelphia last year. You had obviously Chip Kelly coming over from the college ranks, implementing his offensive system, and there was a lot of concern, and I guess maybe there still is among the minds of many. Can a successful college coach make the transition to the NFL game? I still think the verdict is out as far as Chip Kelly, but I was confident with what I saw last year, so I do have to say 11-5. I do like Nick Foles taking the snaps from center. I like him at the controls of that offense. Not to mention, too, what about Darren Sproles? You added Sproles from the New Orleans Saints?
It was unbelievable with a
great run.
Great run. They go to 10-6. They win the division over Dallas, and that was the night that I'll never forget. I said, I'm wondering, will this be the year that the Cowboys finally get into the playoffs, or does more misery come to Dallas, and can Philadelphia go in there? The Eagles totally flattened them and outplayed them and just held off the Cowboys. I'll never forget when the Cowboys had the football. They're going to try to drive down, kick the game-winning field goal. Interception by Orton. I'll never forget how upset Jerry Jones was. So that's why the Eagles, I think, have just got a little bit more than the other teams. And Frank, who do you have coming in number 2?
That, I'll be honest, is a tough one, but I'm going to go with the Washington Redskins. I think it's going to be 9-7. I think it's going to be tight for second place between them and the New York Giants, who I have coming. Well, I could see the Giants finishing 9-7. So I have two 9-7 teams. Really, it's a toss-up between Washington and the New York Giants. And as far as the Dallas Cowboys, maybe, I don't know, does 6-10 sound realistic?
And you know what's going to end up happening. I was saying Rex Ryan's job is going to be on the hot seat.
I'll be coaching the Cowboys next year.
Yeah, Rex Ryan's job from the AFC East, sorry for bringing it up, is on the hot seat. And I'm going to say, Cowboys don't get it done. Jerry Jones is going to go right up there and say, Jason Garrett, you are fired. You are done.
Then who will he hire? A mediocre coach?
That's going to be the question there. Before we get to our last participant, here's what the Encyclopedia man said. He said, Philadelphia, just like Frank and I, they will be 11-5. The Giants will move to 9-7. Washington at 8-8, and the Dallas Cowboys at 3-13. And you know why I think you guys are doing this? If you look at the way the Cowboys have played in the preseason, that means expectations are not very good for 2014 for them. Which leads us to the last person, the host of Sports World Radio. Jeff, the floor is yours. Who do you think is going to win the NFC East?
And your team is in this division, buddy.
I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up.
Fine. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I think I know who you have at the bottom.
You better know who I have at the bottom.
Let's see. Wouldn't they be owned by Jerry Jones?
They would be owned by Jerry Jones. 6-10 for the Dallas Cowboys.
What happens when he comes? What happens when he comes out and says, I still have done a very good job as general manager of the Dallas Cowboys?
I'm going to say you suck. Your team is 6-10.
Hey, let me ask you this. If indeed this is true, and I got to make this point, we're talking about Jason Garrett and him not being the head coach next year.
John Gruden.
Should potentially the Cowboys look at drafting a quarterback in 2015?
Yeah, and they'll probably go after John Gruden, too. 6-10 for the Cowboys. I'm putting Washington at 8-8.
Ooh, the Redskins. They'll be improved this year. There's no question about it. 8-8.
My concern is though RG3. If RG3 is not healthy, you can forget about them being 8-8. Although Kirk Cousins did show some promise.
Yeah.
So maybe with Kirk Cousins at backup, you'd still have a chance, I think.
Okay, and here comes the homer in me. You ready?
Yep.
Philadelphia 9-7.
The Eagles.
Wait a minute.
And Double-A and Browning are going to be on you, Jeff.
I don't care.
Here's the thing. I don't think Jeff. Listen, I may disagree a few times, but one thing you are not, my friend, is bias. You are not biased.
Why?
I don't think you are biased. I think you speak from the truth.
I think that the Philadelphia is going to be 9-7, and I think the Giants are going to be 10-6.
All right. Why do you think the Giants are going to be 10-6? Your beloved New York Giants.
Because I think something's going to click with Eli Manning, and boom, all of a sudden that offense is going to work, and blammo, lammo, slammo.
They have a new offensive coordinator, too.
Yes, they do.
And if the people will probably be saying, Tom Coughlin's job is on the line. I know as a Patriot fan how the bad memories were when they lost 2 Super Bowls against your Giants, Jeff. And if you look at what they did, it was unbelievable. Like 2007, they went 10-6, and they fought for Tom Coughlin's job. Then they went 9-7 in 2011. You got to realize with the Giants, every time you think they're going to go away, the Giants still manage to stay around with Eli and Manningham and what Coughlin has done to that.
Can I ask Jeff this question, please? Jeff, if you were to go back to the summer of 2000, around this time, 2007, and somebody told you the New York Giants were going to be Super Bowl champions, what would you have thought? 2007, this time, Giants Super Bowl champs. What would you thought?
I would have told them they're crazy.
Because remember, Coughlin's job, everyone was talking about, will Coughlin be back for 2008?
Right. That was the last year of Strahan, correct?
Michael Strahan retired after that Super Bowl in Glendale.
Right. I didn't think they had it, but they proved me wrong, and I was happy.
They caught fire at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's
because
the best.
They made me a believer. That Saturday night game against the Patriots, which was the first matchup that aired on pretty much every television network there was, that proved to me, you know what? There's a spark in this team.
And weren't they 9-7 going in?
They were 9-7 in 2011. And if you real quickly, we got about a couple minutes. If you look at 2007, think about the teams that the Giants had beat. They beat 24-7. They went to Dallas. I'm talking 2007, NFC divisional playoff game. They went in there and won 21-17, and that just added to Tony Romo's playoff woes. The big one, how about the frozen tundra? They go into Green Bay and overtake Brett Favre and the Packers.
They got a new offense,
and then the Patriots.
They got a new offensive coordinator. We'll see what happens. Hey, really quick before we get out of here, I want to remind all you guys, if you want to play in our NFL Pro Football Pick'em Pool, send your emails to swrshow@gmail.com. That's swrshow@gmail.com. In the subject, just put in Pick'em. In the body, put your name and email, and I will send you the invitation to play in our Sports World Radio's Fantasy Football Pick'em Pool. So join us for that.
And there's a little bit more I have to add.
Hold on, Sean.
Hold on, Sean. Look at 2011, Frank and Jeff. You remember what happened? Saints were 7-7.
Hold on, Sean.
They overtook the Jets. They knocked the Jets out, beat Dallas, and beat them in the for the NFC East, and then they just kept rolling. They won the NFC wildcard game against Atlanta. They went to Green Bay, won that. They went into San Francisco, and then, of course, they beat New England, and that gave both of them still give me nightmares, but it proved that the Giants were the team that were the underdog, and they were saying, who cares what people think? Let's just go out and play football and shock the odds, and that's pretty much what they did.
Hey, Frank, how come you haven't joined the Fantasy Football League yet?
I sent you an email last week. Didn't you get it?
I sent you the invitation. What the hell's the matter with you?
I sent you the email.
You don't send me.
I sent you the email.
You don't send.
I didn't get the invitation, but I did send you an email.
You don't. I sent you the invitation to the email. Check your email.
I sent you an email.
You don't.
got an email.
You don't send it. You don't send. Hey, Frank, shut up. You don't send me the email. You join the league.
And I had, you just said join the league by SWRRadio @gmail.com.
Exactly. And I sent you the invitation back. You sent me the email. I sent you the invitation back. Check your email.
Oh, all right. Hey, dude, this just proves how slow I am.
No, it proves that you people do not listen to me. That's what it proves. I say send me an email.
Listen to you, what? Is this dictatorial power all of a sudden?
No, because I say send me an email so I can send you the invitation so you can join. You sent me the email. I sent you the invitation. You still haven't joined.
Okay, what is the email? What did you title the email as?
It comes in under Yahoo Sports. Check the email. It should say Fantasy Football Pick'em. It should say Sports World Radio's Yahoo Pick'em League. It should say something Yahoo Pick'em. I sent you the email. In fact, I sent you 2 of them. I am not the moron on here. It's you.
Oh, so I'm the moron.
Yeah, because I've been asking you for 3 weeks to join the league, and you are the only one who still hasn't been able to figure it out.
This just comes to show you how dumb as toast I can be.
And on that, and you know what? Myth is right. You are an amateur. And on that note, we're getting the flock out of here. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow again for another 2-hour journey of sports talk. Until then, my friends, remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable.
Amen.
Peace out, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. For Sean Mann, Frank Sprankle, I'm Jeff Escow. This has been Sports World Radio. Peace out, bitches.
Peace.
Hey, boys, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, didn't we? So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show.